Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, including an update on a story we covered in the last video when Joe Budden's co-host made the bold claim that no single rapper could do a solo stadium tour, all because someone trolled him by claiming Kendrick needed Caesar to do a stadium tour. And just like we hinted in the last video, he began to backtrack and move the goalpost after he was hit with the facts that showed otherwise, and we'll expand on this in a moment. Today we also have more that's come from the Kendrick Lamar versus Andrew Schulz drama after Kendrick dissed him on Whacked Out Murals and he reacted with a joke that many found to be weird, and Andrew Schulz continued to clown Kendrick. More on this in a moment, and this just goes back to what we said when this all started, that comedians have a history of doubling down when people tell them what they can't joke about. And today we also have more on the drama between Jay-Z and 50 Cent, as 50 Cent was recently asked about what he believes motivated Jay-Z to try to block him from performing at the Super Bowl. And spoiler alert, 50 Cent pretty much explained that Jay-Z may just be a certified hater since it doesn't even make sense. And we got a plot twist that happened over this, which we'll get to later. And starting with Joe Budden's co-host underestimating what Eminem achieved, remember it all started with these tweets. No rapper can, referring to a solo stadium tour. And this, no rapper can solo a stadium tour. Not a single one. Whoever you want to name, no. Now keep this in mind, as when fans put up receipts showing that Eminem has in fact done a solo stadium tour, the goalposts started to move. When we called him out to wake up since he owes his 166,000 followers the truth, instead of spreading obvious misinformation, the goalpost started to move. I'm wide awake. I never said Eminem cannot sell out a stadium. My words were, no rappers can solo a stadium tour, in brackets, in the United States. Now hold up. Where did he add the United States initially? It was only after he got the new information that shut him down that it suddenly became just the United States. Now, Eminem's Rapture tour also included a US stadium, but he continued. Had to clear that last part up because people were bringing world stats. I'm only talking about the United States. And again, nowhere prior did he ever specify that he was talking about the United States until he saw the stats for the Rapture tour. How convenient. And after he was called out for literally changing the conversation by moving the goalpost, the backtracking still continued. I did not move anything. I'm just clarifying that I'm always only speaking in regards to the United States. I live here. I don't involve myself with anything international. Also, one stadium show is not a stadium tour, but clearly we already know Eminem never liked to tour to begin with, and he has historical data that shows he can in fact sell out a stadium in the United States solo, just like he can do it overseas. But there, my friends, is how it is so difficult for the typical hip-hop head to admit that they downplay Eminem's achievements. All that wiggling to get out of the headlock when the facts were presented, when a simple "I was wrong, I wasn't familiar" with Eminem's game would have sufficed. And check this out, when Eminem's solo stadium tour destroyed the year-end report for 2019. This is what happens when hip-hop media personalities bury their heads in the sand whenever Eminem does something significant. Like, how could you forget something like this that happened in 2019? And moving on, Andrew Schulz has been facing backlash for roasting Kendrick Lamar in a manner of, quote, sexual jokes. And Andrew Schulz decided to keep going. He took to X to share this in response to the backlash, a depiction of him versus Kendrick Lamar.
Come on, man. Nah, man. Ooh.
And boy, users have been going off. I wonder if bro realizes how many potential fans he's losing. The joke itself is terrible, and also Kendrick is so loved. What you doing, dude? But based on what I've observed, most of the people mad about this have confessed that they were never fans of Andrew Schulz to begin with. So in essence, Kendrick Lamar just amplified Andrew's content to a new audience, who most likely never checked for him to begin with. And when you look at it like this, Kendrick gave him promo to a new audience, and you don't have to agree with me, but this is my stance. I'ma be honest, this ain't about wrong or right or picking sides. But beefing with a comedian is just not a bright idea. Just ask yourself, how did Dave Chappelle handle it when a mob told him that he can't make jokes about a certain group? What did Dave Chappelle do after that? Did he go online to apologize for his jokes, or did he intensify the jokes? And this isn't even about if you are Team Kendrick. This is how comedians operate. And Kendrick gave this man free content. And to be honest, the only thing people could do is to boycott his shows. But then again, the people angry about this never went to his shows to begin with, because like they have said, they never found him funny. What are your thoughts? And before we get to 50 Cent versus Jay-Z, and also the plot twist, we got Akademiks out here exposing himself when it comes to Not Like Us, and you wouldn't believe Akademiks' most streamed song of the year if this didn't leak from his live stream.
Oh shit, I did show it. Nah, Not Like Us is my number one. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was. Not Like Us, Bent, Euphoria, Family Matters, and Push-Ups. I don't even know how it was number one, but fuck it. It was number one though, for real.
So clearly, if anyone was to accuse Kendrick of using bots, Akademiks is not qualified to speak on that matter, since he clearly streamed it the most all year long, and he took to X to do some damage control. Normally, Kendrick wouldn't sniff my Spotify Wrapped, but he's number 2 on mine. The explanation for that is that's what happens when you beef with everyone's favorite rapper. We gotta listen to your ish too cause of the beef. Beefing when it's just musical competition helps both artists, and the damage control continued. Just proof that beefing with a bigger artist is the ultimate stimulus package you can get. Now let's just say that he has most likely lost his temporary access to Drake, and that's the thing with these Access Media guys, although for Ak, it looks like it is mostly just Drake. And while Akademiks is doing some damage control, we got more crashing out over the Super Bowl performance.
If you're Kendrick, are you upset that Beyonce's performing at the halftime on Christmas?
Why?
Because I think her viewership will be higher than his.
It's the Super Bowl.
It's Beyonce.
It's the Super Bowl.
It's Beyonce. Beyonce's bigger than the Super Bowl.
I'm a Beyonce fan. I'm telling you that it's still the Super Bowl.
If I'm Kendrick, you're not looking at the NFL like, why would y'all put this fucking megastar that's a bigger star than I am on the halftime show 2 months before me? Like, that's a lot of pressure on Kendrick now, is all I'm saying.
On average, no matter what, 117 million people are watching the Pepsi halftime show. Average Christmas Day game, 28.7 million viewers. This is not even comparable.
This will probably crack 30.
You think the average is 28 million with Beyonce performing at halftime is only gonna do 30 million?
I can tell you what, it's not gonna do 117. It might get 40. Sure, we'll double it. Give it 60.
Yeah. Y'all are tripping, man. But we gonna find out. I'm just saying, if I'm Kendrick, I definitely am like.
And we got some cringe that resurfaced on social media. A freestyle that made a comeback.
You know what it is? It's Hot 97 is the station. Funkmaster Flex, I run the city. My man Drake is in the building.
I'm in here.
We shut it down.
Give me some. Give me something for the city.
If you just stepped into New York.
Young Drizzy. Yeah. All right. I told you. New York. You gotta understand, I've been on the road for like 2 months. Just grinding it out, you know what I'm saying? I've been on the road really like doing these shows every night. So I'm coming in, ooh. That's how you feel tonight, Flex? Hold up. See, you called me off now. You called me all the way off now. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get this. Hold on. Can we come back? Can we do it? Can we come back? Yeah.
Nice.
I can be. Hold on. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
So crazy.
I promise I'm gonna get him. I promise. I can't give him everything, Flex. Like,
no, you can't.
I can't give him everything because like you gotta understand. This is my first. You want me to do it again? You want me to give? This is my first like real time on the radio. Like this is my first real.
Your first real like blast off.
Like with the big dogs.
Launch.
Like with the.
Yeah, well, you know what
I'm saying? Like.
and we got Justin Hunt going off. I completely forgot how bad this was. Jesus. And when the Drake fan fired back with, Drake is a songwriter, the greatest songwriter ever, all to defend the atrocious freestyle, Justin Hunt fired back with, too many ghostwriters to be the greatest songwriter ever. And we got 50 Cent out here exposing Tony Yayo, since clearly, if Drake is the most streamed rapper on Spotify, someone has got to be listening to Drake on the low.
Listening to music. I'm not listening to music right now. Who you listening to? Kendrick. That's because you know I. But you get a pass. Get a pass. You listen to Kendrick. Yeah, that's Drake. Yeah, that's Drake you got in there.
What the niggas from G-Unit didn't give him nothing? I gave him stuff.
He already got what he got for bringing the motherfucker to me. So how did you give me something? If you already
you're 50 cents, bro.
And moving on, 50 Cent was recently on the You're Welcome Network podcast, and he briefly was asked about what went down with Jay-Z at the Super Bowl, and this was how it went.
Jay-Z told Dr. Dre, just for people who's not up on this, or Eminem, that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl they had a couple years ago. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just
threatened.
Yeah,
possibly.
Not even threatened. You know, I think it's just when you take the competition from, like, our culture is competitive, man. It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It don't make sense. Like, what are we competing for? What's the goal? Like this even, like, a lot of this, even a lot of the competitive stuff, or what we would call it beef, right? It changed. That terminology changed when it's Biggie and Tupac, because we start saying the things that people would say that cause beef in the environment. Before that, they called it battling in our culture, because that's what it is until it turns into some street shit. So when you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you're going, so what was the problem? You can't exactly remember what the problem was. That's what went through with Joe. My issue with Joe, I was like, yo, I think what was the like, when did we bump into each other and have an altercation or anything?
Right.
It wasn't that. It was just he's loyal to a default.
Right.
He was so loyal that he was like on a side without having to be on a side.
Right.
You know, and then that, you know, that dissolves itself over time because you ain't really got an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So translation for those in the back, 50 Cent is saying Jay-Z is pretty much the reverse Flash level of hater in hip-hop. When it comes to hating, just straight up hating for the love of the game, with nothing to gain. And a wild white gold was spotted, putting 50 Cent on blast, because 50 dared to speak on Jay-Z's name. He reacted with, "These dudes can't have a show, podcast, or breathe without mentioning Jay-Z mental illness." And if you don't know, White Gold is certainly a Jay-Z stan. He's had a history of even trying to appear cool to his fellow Jay-Z fanboys when they were crapping on Eminem's Houdini when it dropped, and he was in the comments giggling like a schoolgirl when they clowned the song. So it is no surprises that as a Jay-Z stan, he believes it is mental illness for 50 Cent to call out legitimate snake moves that Jay-Z tried to pull off. Like 50 stated, what did Jay-Z try to gain by attempting to block him from performing? But God forbid, 50 Cent talks about it in an interview. And think about it, it is quite hilarious that he literally worked with Eminem but didn't run to defend the album when his Jay-Z fanboys were dissing it. In fact, he joined in to laugh. But 50 Cent dares to speak on Jay-Z for something legitimate, I'd add, and he put on his cape to fly in to save the day. But over to you guys, share your thoughts below, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.